Brother Master of Ceremonies.
Do we really want to do this first?
Yes, we want to waiting. Has been waiting so patiently. You will now present the brother who has been elected to discharge the important duties as master of this lodge.
Merciful sir, it is my honor and pleasure to present to you Brother Espeleta, who has been elected to serve as master of this lodge.
It is known that Brother Espeleta is well skilled in our ancient craft. He is zealous in his regard for the interests of our order, and is duly qualified to discharge the special duties of Master's Chair.
It is well known these all this, merciful sir. His certificate vouching for his proficiency is evidence that he is well skilled in our ancient craft. I find him to be of good morals, true and trusting, and as a lover of the fraternity, I doubt not that he will discharge his duties with honor and fidelity.
Worshipful sir, the brethren of this lodge, reposing confidence in your integrity, in your zealous regard for the interests of Masonry, and in your ability to discharge the duties of the Master's Chair, have chosen you to occupy that honorable position during the ensuing year. Are you willing to accept this important trust? Then, my brother, I shall most cheerfully proceed to install you in the dignified and honorable position to which the suffrage of your brethren has called you, not doubting that the dignity of the Oriental Chair will be well preserved in your keeping, and that the interest and welfare of this lodge may be safely confided to your charge. Before commencing your investiture, however, it is necessary that you should signify your assent to those ancient charges and regulations which point out the duties of the master of a lodge, and which on no account are ever to be neglected or departed from. They are as follows. You agree to be a good man and true, and strictly to obey the moral law. You agree to be a peaceable citizen and cheerfully to conform to the laws of the country in which you reside. You promise not to be concerned in plots and conspiracies against government, but patiently to submit to the decision of the Supreme Legislature. You agree to pay a proper respect to the civil magistrate, to work diligently, live creditably, and act honorably by all men. You agree to hold in veneration the original rulers and patrons of the Order of Masonry, and their regular successors, supreme and subordinate, according to their stations, and to submit to the awards and resolutions of your brethren when convened, in every case consistent with the Constitution of the Order. You agree to avoid private picks and quarrels, and to guard against intemperance and excess. You agree to be cautious in carriage and behavior, courteous to your brother, and faithful to your lodge. You promise to respect genuine brethren and to discountenance impostors and all dissenters from the original clan of Masonry. You agree to promote the general good of society, to cultivate the social virtues and propagate the knowledge of the art. You promise to pay homage to the Grand Master for the time being, and to his officers when duly installed, and is strictly to conform to every edict of the Grand Lodge or General Assembly of Masons that is not subversive of the principles and groundworks of Masonry. You admit that it is not in the power of any man or body of men to make innovations in the body of Masonry. You promise a regular attendance on the committees and communications of the Grand Lodge, on receiving proper notice, and to pay attention to all the duties of Masonry on convenient occasions. You admit that no new lodge should be formed without permission of the Grand Lodge, and that no countenance should be given to any irregular lodge or to any person clandestinely initiated therein, being contrary to the ancient charges of the order. You admit that no person can be regularly made a Mason or admitted a member of any regular lodge without previous notice and due inquiry into his character. You agree that no visitors shall be received into your lodge without due examination and producing proper vouchers of their having been initiated in a regular lodge. These are among the ancient charges and regulations of free and accepted Masons. And to this, your assent must be freely given. Do you submit to these charges and promise to support these regulations as masters have done in all ages before you? Then my brother, in consequence of this assurance and with full confidence in your capacity and zeal, I will now install you Master of Valley Lodge number 135. Brother Master of Ceremonies, you will invest him with the jewel of his estate.
What's the weather like up there?
Kuya, ganyan ka nyo last year. Ganyan ang itsura mo last year. Ganyan ang itsura mo last year. Namumutla. Namumutla.
The square, my brother, is an emblem of morality, and as it is the special badge of the Master's office, it should constantly remind you that not only by respect and presence, but by example, you should promote good morals among the brethren, and thus endeavor to avert the shadow of any scandal or reproach against the fraternity. Your former life has given evidence that this jewel will not be a unmeaning symbol in your hands. And I solemnly charge you to take good care that its luster be not dimmed through any act of yours. I now present to you the book of Holy Writings. It is the great light in Masonry, and should ever be the great law of the brotherhood. It will guide you to all truth. It will direct you to eternal happiness, and an attentive regard to the divine precepts it contains will ensure your success in the fulfillment of the duties you are now about to assume. The working tools of the craft will next be presented to you. As the master workman, you may instruct the craftsmen in the various duties and virtues which they have been selected to illustrate. The square teaches us well to regulate our every action and to let our conduct be governed by the principles of morality and virtue. The compass teaches us to limit our desires in every station and never to suffer our passions or our prejudices to become the masters of our judgment. The rule directs the undeviating discharge of all our duties, that we should press forward in the straight path of right and truth, without inclining to one hand or the other, in all our doings having eternity in view. The plum is an emblem of moral rectitude. It teaches us to avoid all dissimulation and to pursue that honest and upright course in life, which will tend to our elevation in the higher realms of immorality. There are still other important things which you will receive to charge. This book of Constitution, you are expected diligently to search and from time to time cause its contents to be read in your lodge, that none may remain ignorant of the precepts it enjoins or of the ordinances which it promulgates. This book contains the bylaws of your lodge, which it will be your special duty to see carefully and punctually executed. And this is the charter, under the authority of which your lodge is held, and which you are carefully to preserve and duly transmit to your successor in the master's chair. Brother Master of Ceremonies, you will conduct the master who is stationed in the east. Worshipful Master, I congratulate you on your ascension to this time-honored seat. The duties incumbent upon you in these exalted stations are fraught with grave responsibilities. Remember that honor, reputation, and usefulness of your lodge will mainly depend upon the skill and assiduity with which you manage its concerns, and that the happiness of its members will generally be dependent upon the proportion of your watchful care. Proportion of watchful care with which you cherish the genuine principles of our institution. For a pattern of imitation, consider the great luminary of nature, which rising in the east regularly diffuses light and luster to all within its circle. In like manner, it is your province to spread and communicate light and instruction to the brethren of your lodge. Forcibly impress upon them the dignity and high importance of masonry, and seriously admonish them never to disgrace it. Charge them to practice out of the lodge those duties which they have been covenanted, and by amiable, discreet, and virtuous conduct, to convince mankind of the goodness of this institution, so that when a person is said to be a member of it, the world may know that he is one to whom the burdened heart may pour out its sorrows, one to whom distress may prefer its suit, one whose hand is guided by justice, and whose heart is expanded by benevolence. In due time, in short, by a diligent observance of the bylaws of the lodge, the constitution of masonry, and above all, the Holy Scriptures, which are given as the rule and guide of your faith, you will be able to acquit yourself with the highest honors here and lay up a crown of rejoicing, which shall continue when time shall be no more. Brother Senior Warden, you are too well acquainted with the principles of Masonry to warrant any distrust that you will be found wanting in the discharge of your respective duties. Suffice it to say that what you have seen praiseworthy in others, you should carefully imitate, and what in them may have appeared defective, you should yourselves avoid. You should be examples of discretion and propriety, for it is only by a due regard for our laws and regulations, as shown in your conduct, that you can expect obedience to them from others. You are assiduously to assist the Master in the discharge of his trust, diffusing light and imparting knowledge to all whom he shall place under your care. In absence of the Master, you will succeed to higher duties. Your acquirements must be therefore be such as will ensure proper instruction to the craft. From the spirit which you have hitherto evinced, I entertain no doubt that your future conduct will be such as will merit the applause of your brethren and the testimony of a good conscience. Brethren of Valley Lodge number 135, such is the nature of our Constitution, that as some must necessity rule and teach, so must others, of course, learn to submit and obey. Humility in both is an essential duty. The officers who have been chosen to govern your lodge are sufficiently conversant with the rules and propriety and the laws of the institution to avoid exceeding the power with which they are entrusted. And you are of too generous disposition to envy their preferment. I therefore trust that you will have but one aim, to please one another and unite in the grand design of promoting happiness. Finally, my brethren, as this association has been formed and perfected in so many unanimity and concord, so may it long continue. May you long enjoy every satisfaction and delight which friendship can afford. May kindness and brotherly affection distinguish your conduct as men and as Masons. Within your peaceful walls, may your children's children celebrate with joy and gratitude the annual recurrence of this auspicious solemnity. And may the tenets of our profession be transmitted through this lodge, pure and unimpaired, from generation to generation. Worshipful Master, it now remains for me to present to you the goblet, the emblem of power. In the hands of the Master, it may be made an instrument of great good or of greater evil. With it, the Master governs his lodge, and the welfare and prosperity of your lodge depend upon its judicious use. In your hands, I am confident it will be wielded in the best interests of your brethren. Brother Master of Ceremonies, you will now make proclamation.
By order of the most merciful Grand Lodge of free and accepted Masons of the state of California, I now proclaim the officers of Valley Lodge number 135 to be duly installed.
All the brethren will, under the direction of the Master of Ceremonies, Salute the worshipful master by a battery of 3 times 3.
Together, brethren.
Worshipful master, behold your brethren. Brethren, behold your master.
I gotta fight down the bucket.
Bakit?
I'm sorry about this. Good afternoon, everyone.
Worshipful.
Without further ado, will I call all the past masters of Bali Labs 135. Please stand for self-introduction. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced themselves. Starting from my left.
Alex Valera, worshipful master. Past master, Valley Lodge 135, 2015.
Romelo Clavera, past master, 5 minutes ago.
I'm free!
Worshipful Master, I'm Jericho Reyes, Past Master 2014.
Sabi niya, hold your until the last.
Dallas 135, Past Master, 2016.
Worshipful Master, Clyde Moss. Past master was everybody.
Worshipful sir, thank you so much. I'm very blessed having you all by my side. Thank you. Will all the members of Valley Lads number 135 please rise to be recognized? All members. Thank you, brethren. Looking forward for a fruitful year with you. Thank you. All the ladies of Bali Lads number 135, please stand for group recognition.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hindi ka na nakunan.
Presiding officers, Masonic Youth Orders, please stand for self-introduction. Starting from my left. There's none. Okay, presiding officers, concordant and appendant bodies, please stand for self-introduction.
Sir Knight Elmer Grospe, Royal Patron, Beehive Sacramento, Part number 85, Order
Lodge Masters and Master-elect, please stand up and introduce yourself. Starting from my left.
Purple Master, Rubio Ruiz, Master in School, Pittsburgh Blacks, number 429 for the ensuing Master year 2018.
Worship Master, Albert Monroe, Gerald Douglas Martin Lodge, number 853. Worship Master, 2018.
Will all the past masters of other lodges please stand for self-introduction. Starting from my left.
Ba't dito mo?
Apostle Master, Brother Alexander Fabian, Past Master, Quezon City Lands 122, Philippines, 1997.
Joel Moses Budgets, Past Master, 2003. Cosmos Lodge, number 8, Grand Lodge of the Philippines. Brother Oscar Evans Jr., Past Master, Sun Lodge, number 55, Fairfield. Past Master, 2006.
Original Master, Ito Micro, Pittsburgh Lodge, number 429, Master 2015. Romy Marquez, Pittsburgh Lodge, number 49, Past Master for Visa.
Original Master, Eduardo Mahalay, Past Master, Charlton Lodge, number 44, Guam, 2006. Andy Villanueva, Pittsburgh Lodge, number 429, 2002. Master, Ronald Mones, Acacia Lodge 243, Hayward. Worship Master, Barrera Prisco Rivera, Junior Past Master, Gerald Douglas Mark Lodge, number 853.
Gary Versosa, Gerald Douglas MacArthur Lodge, number 853, Past Master, 2014.
Musical Master, Dinar Nicolas, Francis Craig Lodge, number 376, Past Master, 2014. Master, Lee Goldman, Modesto 206, 2013. Musical Master, Ernesto Flores Jr., Susul Lodge, number 55, Fairfield, California. Past Peninsula Lodge number 5 in 1998.
Postmaster Bill Blackwood, Pastmaster of Woodbridge Lodge number 131, 2015 and 2017.
Master Robert Glassman, past master of Mill Valley Lodge number 356, 1989-1990, and past master of Keystone 161, last 5 years.
Merciful Sir, Miguel Gomez, past master, Forbidden Three Pillars Lodge number 609, 2013.
Worshipful sir, Arnold Abaya of Cyclone Lodge number 188, a past master of Sublime Peninsula Lodge number 5, 2004.
Worshipful sir, John Trinidad, past master, Prominent Three Pillars, number 609, 2014.
Worshipful Master, my name is Tommy Farr, and I was master of Turlock Lodge number 395, now number 236, in 1998, and master of Hornitos Lodge number 98 in 2013.
I would like to introduce to you Worshipful Clive Moss, Pastmaster, Forbidden Three Pillars Lodge and Valley Lodge. Concord, Brockman, and so forth. Edward Coralman, General Douglas MacArthur Lodge, number 853, 2013.
Worshipful Master, Elmer Gross, past master, Cabanatuan Lodge number 53, under Grand Lodge of the Philippines 2005, and General Douglas MacArthur Lodge number 853, under Grand Lodge of California 2015.
Rafael Marcori, past master of Sinuban Lodge number 16, Grand Lodge of the Philippines, 1996.
Worshipful Master Nolan Barnaliso, General Deputy of Barton Lodge number 853, 2016.
Thank you so much, Worshipful Sir.
Right there.
I'm the past master of this lodge. 2011.
Nakalimutan ko din.
Vic Dodico, Prominent Three Pillars Lodge number 609 of Sacramento, 2012.
Thank you so much, Worshipful
Kuyang
Sir.
Alex pa. Hindi na siya.
Will all Hiram Award recipient please stand for self-introduction. Starting from my left, Alex.
Worshipful Sir, my name is Alex Lanera, Hiram Award recipient, Providence Three Pillars Lodge number 609, 2013.
Worshipful Master, Brother Alexander Fabian, Hiram Award recipient, grade E7.
Award recipient of Sunda number
Grabe pa yun.
For Schoolmaster Edwin Dueñas, Art Awardee, Robert Lodge number 212, 2014.
Worshipful Master, Don Blue, received mine in 2008 from Valley Lodge 135.
Jerry Versosa, General Douglas from Alpha Lodge number 853, Iron Awardee 2011.
Sir, Leonardo Glass, Assistant Glass number 376, received my Adam Award in 2016.
Mr. Forrest Jr., I received mine in 2012.
Sir, Lieutenant Infante, I received mine in 2010. Susan Lodge, number 1.
Master, Jerry Rivera, happy to see that. 99, 2005, happy, bye.
Worshipful Sir, Miguel Gomez, Hiram Award recipient, Valley Lodge 135, 2015.
Worshipful Sir, Arnold Abaya, Hiram Award recipient, Sublime Peninsulas number 5 in 2007.
Worshipful Master, Tommy Farr, I received the Hiram Award from Turlock Lodge number 395 in 2005.
Worshipful Sir, Clyde Moss, I received mine from Valley Lodge in 2011.
Sir, I got mine 2013 under the leadership of Worshipful Brother Clark.
Vic Duodico, I'm a recipient of Hiram Award in 2016, Valley Lodge 135. Thank you so much, brethren. Do we have Golden Veteran Award recipients? Please stand. And community leaders. None. We are very fortunate this afternoon having our inspector from the Grand Lodge and also our junior Grand Steward. I would like to introduce to you Worshipful Jairo Gomez, Inspector of Masonic District 428. Thank you, Worshipful Sir. Worshipful Scotty Christian, Junior Grand Steward of the Grand Lodge of California. Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of Valley Lodge number 135, I really appreciate your presence here this afternoon. Thank you. Let's move on to our presentation. Will I call the installing team east of the altar? Installing team.
Which one is heavy? This one or that one? That's the jacket.
Worshipful Nino Perez,
Ready ka na. Ate.
please escort Sister Gina east of the altar. And also I would like to call Worshipful Alex Panela. Please meet me east of the altar.
Escort ba kita?
Special eh. Uy, special.
Sister Gina, thank you so much. And Worshipful Alex Panela. My King Solomon. Every time I have a problem, Worshipful
Well, she's there, of course.
Brother Marshall, will you escort Miss Gina Dimandal west of the altar, please?
Pilipino ba yan? Ba't parang American?
Ate. Uy. Thank you. Diyos ko, nanginginig ako, ate. Nanginginig ako.
Kung ko nga sa isang paano
Nanginginig ako.
Pilipinong lula. niya kakamagulang.
Just 1 second break. Brother Edward Bobano, Brother Johnson Malyari, and Michael Yu, Master Counselor of GD Mac Order of Dimolay, please meet me west of the altar.
Okay naman, Rildo mo po.
Ayan, hindi ba dapat dito i-ano yung gift nila? Ah,
Pas may suka.
Brother Marshall, please escort my wife and sister Arlene east of the altar.